Well, Doc AJ, it's going to be a very short season, so a lot of things to be excited about. But let's get into things for Pool B, starting off with the Creamline Pool Smashers. You know, their lineup is still intact. They only have Michelle Gumabo who actually left. But in terms of cohesion and chemistry, it's definitely still there. So with that, do you think that they are still the team to beat this coming PVL conference?
Well, definitely. Actually, I'm going as far as to say that it's going to be criminal for Creamline if they don't get the #1 spot in Pool B. Because out of all the teams in Pool B, they have the strongest lineup, if I may, individually. And
May magagalit si Z. Magagalit siya.
Sa Pool B naman.
she's from a different pool, so...
Hindi ako makahurt. So, okay lang.
But yeah, they have the stronger individual lineup, but they've been a solid unit for a lot of conferences already. Correct. So it's gonna be a mortal sin for them if they don't get the #1 spot in this pool. But the other teams are no pushovers actually.
That's right, and especially parang sila yung parang vengeance kumbaga in this conference kasi last year they finished silver and for sure they're in it to win it this conference. So second up, ang Petrogas naman, you mentioned medyo maliit tayo sa gitna, sa middle blockers. How important is it to have a tall net defense?
Well, since I'm in the middle, I'm more biased.
Speaking
towards,
from experience.
Petrogas, I see a lot of returning players to the team. Siguro, special mention muna si Cruz, who is the former libero and back. And she's really an X factor for Petrogas even before in previous leagues. But yeah, jam-packed yung roster ng Petrogas, but more of in the wings. Yung mga players nila, yung mga addition. So I'm quite worried about the middles because we don't have someone who is talagang very prominent as a middle in terms of blocking. Like, should say if there's one such as Majoy Baron or Maddie Madayag who's really known for blocking.
Right.
To be part of Petrogas. Siguro yun lang yung medyo kulang na factor. So I'm interested to see how the floor defense will shape up.
Definitely.
With the
That's
lack of the middles.
Because currently, the only middle that they have really is in Remy Palman up against the other middles of the other teams. She's a little bit shorter than them. So let's see, how everything will pan out for Petrogas. But let's go straight towards the next team, which is PLDT. They have a lot of new incoming players to their lineup. And from different teams, they have players that are coming from Santa Lucia, from Petrogas and also from Signal. But, despite that, do you think that, chemistry and cohesion will be a deciding factor as to how they will perform this coming conference?
Yeah, mas magnify yung cohesion because you're in a pool with Creamline, who's been intact for a lot of conferences already. So, PLDT has a good lineup, especially for middle. There's Nika Reyes and Del Palomata there, and they have the size and the threatening factor in the middle. And but yun nga, because it's still a hodgepodge of players from different teams arranged in such a short notice. Let's see how the cohesion or the chemistry will be in their favor or against their favor.
That's right. A lot of teams talaga, parang nag-mix up sila, ang daming lumipat, pero madami pa rin nag-stay. How is it important yung chemistry niyan? At sa tingin mo, paano yan nabibuild over time, AJ?
Building chemistry over time, from the word itself, it takes time.
Okay.
And a lot of reps. Like indoor or beach volleyball, time is always a factor when building chemistry. You can't just expect that two good players who are stellar in their individual careers, pagsamahin mo. Doesn't work like that all the time, especially, alam mo naman, sa beach, diba? So, yeah, so it takes time. And if PLDT gets this unit solid for more conferences, then I think they would be an X factor in the league.
But I guess given that almost all the teams except for Creamline, of course, the fact that they did make a mix-up of almost all their lineups, I guess that puts an even place for all of them, given that all of us have a short amount of time to prepare for the PVL conference. But for the last team, Z, what do we have?
Yes, for BaliPure, still a dark horse. Do you think Alina Bicar will be the glue, the very important factor for this team?
Yeah, BaliPure, nagpakilala sila in the previous conference by being the giant slayer, being...
Grabe yung upsets nila.
all the upsets, especially with yung pinaka-memorable is Cherry Tigo, di ba?
correct.
But in all those games talaga, it's Salina Bicar who's the X factor. Because
Yes.
if you're gonna be objective about it, the roster of BaliPure, hindi siya as star-studded as other teams.
Yes.
But Bicar was able to utilize all of the players to their advantage in those big upsets in those previous conferences. It's just that Creamline is dodged the bullet. If I remember correctly, I covered that game. It was yung massacre of Creamline with BaliPure because Creamline didn't want to be part of that upset club. So yeah. So Alina Bicar is still going to be the X factor.
Well, aside from Alina Bicar, they did get a gem in Joe Mariganot. So interested to see also how that all would pan out. But looking at all the teams in Pool B, you said that Creamline would definitely or has to be number one.
No pressure.
But next to them, who do you think is the dark horse that would be at least number 2 in the standings for Pool B?
I think it's going to be Petrogas because at least half of the players of Petrogas nagkasama na before.
Yeah.
So there's
correct.
some kind of chemistry already going there. But yun nga, magiging crucial yung performance of the middles for Petrogas if they want to at least push Creamline out of the top spot also.